record the video in a slightly different way in order for you to just kind of see my reaction about the thing that I'm going to say. So I'm gonna talk about Warden in Samurai Shodown 7 and the overall decision to put in this character into the game. So Samurai Shodown is a game with almost 30 years of history. Okay, guys, like it's really long, and it's a long series with a lot of really iconic characters that still haven't appeared in the new game, and people are eager to see some of these characters and play them. For example, Ganon. A lot of people are asking about the Ganon on social media. Also Ziger, although one Fu appeared in the game, so Ziger would be kind of strange. But anyway, there are a lot of characters. For example, Gao, Yunfei from 5 Special, Kafu in Gaira, Herrera. What I personally think would be a great addition is Yokai Kusarigel from Samurai Shodown 5. He's a pretty unique character, and I think it deserves to be in the game. But instead of that, they decided to go for a guest character. Okay, fine, great. Like, nothing wrong with that. A lot of fighting games are doing guest characters, and guest characters are popular. And in the recent history, a couple of months ago, Bandai decided to put in, obviously, Haomaru from Samurai Shodown in Soul Calibur. So maybe this would have been a great opportunity to add a Soul Calibur character into Samurai Shodown. In my opinion, Siegfried or Nightmare would have fit in perfectly, considering the fact that they have put in Warden, who is like a knight. If they have put in Nightmare, who is like a dark knight, people would have been very happy and very excited. So instead of Soul Calibur, they decided to go with For Honor, which is, okay, it's strange. I mean, there is a history of Ubisoft characters being in other fighting games. Like in Soul Calibur 5, for example, there was Ezio. He played really well, and he was presenting the game in a really interesting, complicated fashion, much in the way like Haomaru was representing Soul Calibur 6. He's really well made and has a lot of cool things with his special moves and so on and so forth. But going with For Honor is strange for another reason. The game doesn't seem to have any hype momentum and any like marketing serious community initiative that is going on right now. The game was released 4 years ago, and from what it seems to me from the outside, I have played the game initially a little bit, but it seems to me, and I have talked with a lot of people here and there that actually play the game, that the players' population is actually dwindling a lot, like constantly dwindling. There are still like events, some people are playing it competitively in a team-based fashion. You can see some combos, by the way, on the screen right now that I'm trying to do, and things that I have tried in the game by like playing the character a little bit. So I hope this will be interesting for you. I'm not gonna comment on the combos themselves. I'm gonna explain why in a second. But For Honor doesn't have any serious hype momentum right now. There will be like the last big thing that appeared in the game that I can remember was the expansion from last year that added the Chinese character. I think it was something like Raging Fire or something like that. I forgot the name exactly. But this year there will be another, what it seems like to be like a fourth year and something like a new season For Honor with probably new characters, new like scenarios to play or something like that. But overall, the game doesn't have any competitive momentum for sure. And the decision for SNK to go with the guest character from that game is strange and dubious at best. Now, when you consider all the characters that are in For Honor, actually they are not characters, they are just classes of characters. The only, or there probably are more, but the only real character that I can remember is Apollyon, which was like a knight, but she was the last boss in the game. But she was a knight with personality, and compared to that, Warden is actually just a class of like Vanguard Knights or something like that. But it's not like a European knight with a name who is, for example, Vasilius Barca the Warden or something like that. It's just a quote warden, some warden somewhere, something like that, okay? So this is problematic. I probably shouldn't use that word. This is strange for the reason that all the other characters in Shodown have personalities, have names and stuff like that, and Warden is just a class. So if they went with Apollyon, I think it would have been better. But more than that, I think that even from the characters in For Honor, this is only a speculation and a conjecture from my part, but I don't really think a lot of people are actually playing Warden from all the characters in the game. Is Warden really a popular character? If you know anything about the For Honor and you're following the community there, please let me know. But I highly doubt that he's amongst the most played characters in For Honor. Personally, when I played the game initially when it was released, I played Nobushi and Shugoki, but I found that the Peacekeeper was very interesting. Also, the heavy character, the heavy knight with the shield and the chain and the mace. Lawbringer was also interesting. It was kind of like a mixture of a character with an axe and some other weapon or something like that. Okay, stop. Let me rewind it back. So there are more interesting characters than Warden in For Honor is what I'm trying to say here. I think that the Viking characters would have been fine. Viking like culture in like the current environment with Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Vikings, the TV show recently, has momentum. Like Viking characters are hype right now. For certain, they're more hype than characters like Warden and For Honor as a whole. But For Honor has Viking characters, like for example the Valkyrie the Raider. So if they have put in Viking characters, it would have been cool. And like just going with Warden of all characters. Okay, if the idea is to put in a Western knight because they're promoting this and they're presenting him in the game, like the knighthood or Kishido versus Bushido. Bushido is of course the way of the samurai, and the Kishido is the way of the knight. So it's knighthood or chivalry versus Bushido or something like that. But if they wanted to put in a European medieval knight, there are plenty of other interesting characters out there. I already mentioned Siegfried and Nightmare, but considering the fact that obviously SNK collaborates with Bandai, considering Haomaru in Soul Calibur 6, try to imagine this, and please let me know what you think down in the comments below. If they have decided to put in a character, a knight character from Dark Souls, if they have decided to put in Solaire or even Artorias, people would have been mad with hype right now. I mean, try to imagine Artorias being in a legitimate, real competitive fighting game. It would have bringing a lot of momentum, a lot of hype, a lot of news, and people would have actually enjoyed playing him. A lot of people would have picked up the game that have never played Samurai Shodown or even 2D fighting games before, that are just Souls fans. Probably would have picked up the game just to play Artorias in this Samurai Shodown game that they have probably never heard before that. But instead they went with For Honor and Warden. Okay, answer me this. Who really asked for this? Like, what was the community drive or the momentum hype drive that resulted in they deciding to put this character in? Like, it's not a hate or anything like that. Like, I think the character is fine. He's kind of fun to play, but a little bit bland, which is surprising. I'm gonna explain that a little bit later. But from a pure marketing and hype creating standpoint, I just don't understand this decision. Like I said, if there was Artoria, Soler, or Ornstein, for example, or the Elite Knight from Dark Souls 1, who is also obviously like a class of character, but it would have been great. It's like a standard Western knight, but people would have been going crazy right now if there was Artorias to play in this game. Like, I would have played him a lot for sure, 100%. Dark Souls is still a very popular game. It has lots of fans around the world, and obviously the game has created the entire new genre of video games pretty much. So if the idea was to add in a knight from another title, going with a knight from a Bandai Namco game, a company with which SNK obviously has some kind of partner relationships, considering their other guest characters. So that would have been a much better idea. Instead, they went with Warden, guys. I mean, like I said, I'm going to repeat this one more time. I don't really know who asked for this. I don't really understand who is this for, and what are the people that are going to go, wow, you know what? There is Warden from For Honor in Samurai Shodown. Let me just go and buy Samurai Shodown in order to play For Honor character in that particular game. Like, and that character from all of the other characters. Like, it's strange, and this is probably the most unfitting decision for a guest character in any fighting game that I can think of. Like I said, it's not a hate towards the character, it's not a hate towards SNK. It's just very strange and unfitting and baffling from a marketing and momentum standpoint. Now, if For Honor like releases its new content for this year, something like this summer or in the upcoming months, it probably will be good. Like, people who play the game probably will be thrilled about it. But if you know anything about that community, please let me know. But will this really bring up a lot of new players to the game, and will bring up the players that have already dropped the game back in? Like, I don't really think so. Like I said, I talk with a lot of people about fighting games on a daily basis, and all the people that I know that have played For Honor in some capacity have dropped the game completely. They play on PC. I have dropped the game since something like a month after the release, and I highly doubt that the core Samurai Shodown community, which is pretty much probably the majority of people that still play the game right now. Samurai Shodown also have lost some momentum, let's be honest. Like the netcode is still very bad. The Neo Geo Samurai Shodown collection will bring up another fight. By the way, a side note here, please let me know what you think down in the comments. Why is Samurai Shodown 6 shafted in that collection? Like there are 3 Samurai Shodown 5 games in there and not even one Samurai Shodown 6 game. I don't understand the desire to just for this game to be forgotten. Samurai Shodown 6 is amazing. I personally like it a lot, and I would have loved to see a remake of the game, not the PS2 port on that is available on PS4, but like a current version that is available to play for a lot of people with all the different styles and all the interesting additional characters. They have Iroha there, as you probably know. They have Andrew, another like unique character for that game, and I think it was called Ochomaru or something like that. A character from something like a Bunraku theater. Very interesting, but that game is nowhere to be seen in the Neo Geo collection, which is strange. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So Warden is a boring choice, and also in the game itself, Warden is not that intriguing character to play. Okay, so the character has these. Let me just. In here, okay, so the character has an interesting counter that can lead into some follow-ups and combos. This counter can also deflect projectiles, jumping attacks, and even supers, weapon flipping techniques. Outside of that, he has a shoulder charge tackle, which he already had in the For Honor, of course. But he can charge it here, and you can do follow-ups after he hits. And the last thing that he has is this kind of like Gatling strings. He can combo mid into a fake attack. He can also cancel his strong attack, as you can see right now. He can also do 2 hits with his strong slash, or fake it with a feint move, and that's it. Like, one of the most unique and interesting things about For Honor as a competitive game was the ability to have different stances, okay? And from different stances you do different attacks, and the opponent has to defend the attacks with the corresponding stance. Otherwise, the opponent gets a hit. Like, just broadly speaking. And I think it would have been a good idea to put in a character with stances in this game, and considering he's a guest character, I think no one would have minded. But instead, he doesn't have stances. He has these strings, he has the reversal, and pretty much that's it. He doesn't have a lot of special moves. He's not good when he doesn't have a weapon. His jump arc and his jump attacks are good, but overall he's not a very inspiring character for me personally to play. I think he's strong, considering his normals are very good, and he has a far-reaching stash, and he can like cancel his attack, like I said, but not very exciting to play. And the other reason he's not very exciting to play is that there will be not a whole lot of people that will be interested to picking him up in the first place. A lot of people have probably expected a different character. The fan favorite Ganon seems to be the most desired character right now, but any of the other characters from the game that are missing would have been a nice addition. But Warden, I don't really think so. I mean, I might be wrong, but please let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I don't think he's really an exciting character in the game, and he's a very strange choice of a guest character in Samurai Shodown game for sure. Gonna repeat this one more time. If they have put in Artorias from Dark Souls or even Soler, people would have been crazy with hype right now. But this character will be, I mean, not the character himself, because there are a lot of people that still play the game, Samurai Shodown, obviously, but the news and the news cycle and the hype cycle that these news about Warden appearing in Samurai Shodown have created would just dwindle in like a couple of days. Like by the time that I'm making this video, like a week from now, this character would have, a lot of people would have forgotten that. Ooh, do you know there is a Warden in Samurai Shodown? Like people would just move on to something else. That's my opinion on the subject. Please let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And thanks for watching this video. I hope you like this format of me recording and having reactions while I'm speaking to you. But this was an interesting thing that happened, and I wanted to talk about it, and I want to also hear your opinion on the subject. Do you think that if they have put in Artorias from Dark Souls in Samurai Shodown, that have been a better choice than Warden from For Honor? Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.